Hey guys, this is Allison from Alley Cat Creations. How are you? Please don't forget to like, share, and subscribe to my channel if you have yet to do so. And if you get anything from my work, a connect, dot, an epiphany, a mind explosion, a new book to read, a new author to explore, artwork to create, please consider supporting me and all my ventures. Down below is the links. AlleyCatCreations211.com is where you can find my paintings, scullies, pyramids, all the awesome stuff that I make. And if you're interested in any of that for purchase, please email me because I do everything privately at the moment. 3D is a tier on this channel. It's a channel membership. And if you become a member, you guys get free entries into my monthly raffles. So I raffle off pyramids, paintings, signs, all the things that I do. We'll see what happens now that the post office is charging an arm and a leg to send a little box out. See what happens. Um, but there's a raffle at the end of the month, so who knows? You support the channel and you get stuff back from me. Also, I do channel member only content, and it's usually oracle cards, and I pull from a whole plethora of decks, not just a few. I do a lot, and that's a collective reading for everybody in the membership section. I tune into your energy and ask what is it that you need to do in a work with? What is it that you need to maybe look at an aspect of your life? There, it's a healing process. So yeah, go check that out. I'm just gonna put it out here. I need help. I don't know who to ask for help anymore. I'm very disheartened. I feel very defeated. I screamed at my higher self earlier today. I took a shower, came downstairs to get something, and the entire down here was flooded. I have a shower down here and a toilet. The whole bathroom was soaked. I have tree roots. I go then to the laundry room to see if there was anything flooding in there. And I saw a lot of spider webs all over the place. Go and find out I have termites as well. We had storms yesterday, and there's a lot going on. And there is no way I can afford anybody to help me. I already went to the bank. I went to a few banks. I don't share my private business that often. I mean, I put it out there, but not to the depth that I normally do. I went to a few places. I got told you have to wait because of my seasonal job. Because I have a full-time job, it's just not over the summer, and I don't get paid over the summer. I've been rejected and not called back from every job that I have applied to thus far, which has been a lot. So the universe is obviously asking me for a change, and I don't know where and who, what, when, how the universe is going to respond, but I'm done. This is New York 2.0 because this happened to me in New York, and I ended up having to move. And if I have to pack up this house and move, I'm not coming back. I'm going to disappear. I'm going off grid. I don't want to be a part of society anymore. Done. Um, because I can't. After today, my nerves, my hand was shaking up until like an hour ago. Nervous breakdown, probably. And yes, I'm trying to alchemize and I'm trying to not feel so defeated But I'm putting a call out. If there's anybody out there that has a job with a salary that is in the arts, that wants to work with me doing, I don't know, something that pays, there's a salary involved, there's money involved that I can earn. I'm not here for a hand, I don't want handouts. Like, I'm so blessed I have enough people that have helped me in the last 5 years getting through this nightmare of my life. But that's not, I'm not here to solicit. I'm not one of those people. Life happens to all of us, but it happens to me more than most. And I'm kind of fed up. I'm by myself. And when I put the call out, physical help, like I texted a bunch of people today. I don't know that many people in Northwest Indiana that has a super duty snake to help me with my plumbing. That's really where the problem lies. And, the rest of the stuff, the homeowner's insurance doesn't cover. And I don't have the deductible money either to even ask somebody to come out. I went to banks, been denied, called some loan places, no. And a lot of other stuff doesn't work because if I need other things to get financed, you need good credit. And I have good credit. The only thing going for me right now. Tobacco, folks. So yeah, I just wanted to put that out there. If there's anybody out there that can extend an olive branch in some way, or I'm not here to get a rich quick scheme. There are so many people that are like, here, do this and do that and do this. Like, I need a career. I need to work with a team. I want to work, and something has to give in my life. Something, because I can't do this anymore. I mean, sure, I can do plumbing. I've done it in New York. I fixed my plumbing. I need a heavy duty machine that I cannot afford to clear out tree roots. I did take a gift card that I received to buy some of the formula stuff for termites and that. So hopefully that comes tomorrow and I'll figure food out on another day. I thankfully have enough thanks to the beautiful people that are on this channel helping me out. Okay, getting that off my chest. If I don't put the call for help out, I'm not soliciting sympathy. I don't want your pity or sympathy. My soul chose this fucking shit and I yelled at it. That's why my voice is all hoarse. I screamed at myself and God, whatever you want to call it. I'm done. I'm done. Done. You want me at the precipice? I've been at the precipice 5 times already in the last 10 years. Done. You want me here? You got to put somebody in my path to at least give me halfway. Meet me halfway with something. Over it. Done. But I'm trying to alchemize my feelings. I'm trying to, but the real danger is termites are destructive. If there is water seeping in between my walls, there is mold, and it's probably why I've been coughing and my allergies. Like I could die from that. Like it's not something like I could passively go, oh, you know what I'm saying? Breathe. Welcome to my journey. And I'm hopefully not, something is going to happen. Divine orchestration and divine timing will come like now in the next couple of days that something happens and God puts somebody on my path or something beautiful happens and that this all gets rectified and fixed. praying. But if I don't put the help and the call out there, it doesn't get solved. Unity consciousness for you. Okay, we're going to read the Inner Radiance, the Curtis books. Chapter 8, the Soul Language. Quote, "For then I will turn to the people a pure language, that they may all call upon the name of the Lord to serve him with one consent." End quote. Quote, "My lips shall utter praise when thou hast taught me thy statutes. My tongue shall speak of thy word, for all thy commandments are righteous." Psalms. Quote, "Oh, that man would praise the Lord for his goodness and for his wonderful works to the children of men. Then they cry unto the Lord in their trouble, and he bringeth them out of their distresses. He maketh the storm a calm, so that the waves thereof are still." End quote. Psalms. I cried on my knees, hysterical screaming, "I'm done, God. Hi. I'm over this story. I want my chapter. I want that book to close so my new chapter starts. And this void is not okay. I don't care how necessary it is for my soul to be at every precipice. It's going to cause me a heart attack. And it's just because it's what the nature of what goes on. I don't know why I signed up for this human shit. I don't. I'm sure many of you are in that same like questioning at this point in life. In the Bible story of man on this planet, one of the early symbolic pictures represents all mankind as being of one speech, gathered in one place, and as saying, "Let us build us a city and tower, whose top may reach unto heaven, and let us make us a name, lest we be scattered upon the face of the whole earth." This story allegorizes, can't get that word out for the life of me, firstly, the innate tendency of mankind to seek approbation and recognition. So ingrained is this desire that it is one of the great, almost unconscious well springs of human endeavor, and is largely responsible for the laudable ambition whose effort to excel is one of the important factors in the progress of mankind. In fact, it might also be ranked as a third great human hunger, following closely upon the hunger for food and sex expression. So fundamental is this tendency that it is exhibited alike by the child who cries, "Look at me, see what I can do." The strut of the general clad in a glittering uniform and decorated with medals, and on up to the king upon his throne. This desire for personal recognition springs not from mere vanity, as it would seem at first, although it often reinforces and encourages it, but from a vague realization of the soul's essential divinity and the necessity of the human personality to reach up to and become worthy of recognition by, and ultimately become one with the soul, the spiritual or higher self. Mm-hmm. Notwithstanding the source and purpose of this innate desire or urge upward, man naturally uses all his physical powers and all his mental faculties to build a great tower of personality, not as it should be, that such a perfected personality should be a more perfect instrument through which he can reach up to the heaven, gain greater understanding of God, and realize man's oneness with the divine self, but merely to gain human instead of spiritual recognition and make a great name for himself. I don't need a great name. I just need my higher self to stop with the repeats. This tendency was acquired even before he put on coats of skin and incarnated in a body of flesh, when he was still an ethereal being, long before he was born on earth. In fact, his ability to recognize and manifest his oneness with the divine while still incarnated in the flesh in this lowest physical world was one of the great lessons he had come to this planet to learn. Therefore, having passed through certain ethereal and spiritual stages of evolution on other planets, the Lord, or the divine law, decreed that he must learn the lesson of unity in duality. Both by incarnating in separate sexes and by learning to differentiate the human and the divine in himself and give perfect service to both. He must learn to recognize, give absolute allegiance to, and use the powers of the divine self within him, and also learn that as a man, it is his duty, under the direction of his inner guidance, to develop all his human faculties and functions and thus perfect his personality, instead of starting with the personality and hoping to develop a spiritual self. In other words, he must recognize that he is essentially a spiritual being made in the image of God, endeavoring to manifest through a physical body, and not a God masquerading in an image of man. I say this all the time. You guys who watch me and watch my channel know this already. This is not new information. But it's a beautiful thing to see that, once again, the Curtises are outshining themselves with things that we are now being brought to the forefront. My gosh, yes. There's just so much I want to say, and I can't. I'll choke up. This dense physical planet is the school ground whereon man must learn primarily to conquer and use constructively both his physical and his God powers, his creative powers of spirit, mind, and body, as well as his physical powers within the limitations of earth conditions. Only so can he conquer his physical limitations and win his spiritual freedom, for both must be perfected, because both are but opposite sides of the shield given him for his salvation. After the dramatic lesson of the Tower of Babel, man should have learned that he cannot climb to heaven and be as gods, knowing good and evil, through physical and mental prowess alone. But the vast majority of mankind have not learned this lesson as yet. In fact, humanity is only beginning to find out through sad experience that all things and conditions can and should be used for good as a God intended, but that even good things can be turned into evil if used to oppose the divine law or for mere self-indulgence and aggrandizement of the personality. Man has had to learn through repeated failures that his human body and his mental faculties are not all powerful or even completely satisfying, that they are but of the earthy, capable of both good and evil according to their use. It is his inner or spiritual self that is the Lord from heaven, one with the everlasting Father, and it is through the power of this spiritual self or image of God that he must learn to rule the personality in all its thoughts, desires, and acts, and thus conquer this world of materiality, a new and important world wherein mighty lessons must be learned. For he must learn to find in this world all the physical helps needed for his evolution and perfect manifestation here on earth, just as he must find the spiritual helps in the higher realms. The allegory of the Tower of Babel tells us that the Lord came down and confounded the speech of those who were building the tower. The various races of men were never intended to speak the same physical language, for they were evolved, not in one spot or from one primordial pair, but in independent races scattered over the earth under varied conditions. Language is developed as a method of expressing thoughts, desires, and instincts under the conditions of a certain locality and of a certain race type. Physical man looks outward at physical problems and must express his reaction to the problem of his environment. Therefore, it is inevitable that different races see things from different angles, hence express them differently. This is a wise provision, for the mortal man is limited, and varied aspects give a more perfect picture of a whole. But the inner spiritual man is not limited. The same spiritual essence animates all humanity. Hence, we must recognize the great truth that while outward humanity expresses the 7 diverse race types of thought, the God consciousness within all has the power to unite all types of thought into one unified spiritual consciousness. This is the law of unity in diversity. A lesson of great importance for mankind to grasp, especially at this particular era of changing planetary conditions. We have already laid before our students an outline of the great changes that are pending in this world of ours. Especially, we have emphasized the power of man to minimize the destruction of suffering due to these changes, provided he will unite to that end in the use of his spiritual forces and in the use of the powers he can invoke from the higher worlds which surround him. But to do so, he must listen within to the one soul language of the inner self, which speaks silently, yet distinctly in the hearts of all who will listen. But if man persists in identifying himself exclusively with the outer physical personality and its diverse and separate languages, he will find his way of looking at things so confounded that, like the builders of the Tower of Babel, he will find that the climactic changes will be necessary instruments of the great law to scatter rather than unite all mankind, so that they will be obliged to leave off building their towers of personal conceptions of world conditions. The Lord bringeth them out of their distress, not because our prayers have induced him to change his mind, but because we have to learn to work with his forces according to his laws, because we have learned to speak with one tongue, the soul language. Broken law inevitably brings about unbalanced conditions, and a rebalancing must necessarily take place, either constructively by consciously working with the law before the unbalanced tower topples, or destructively after the toppling over takes place. The world will continue to reel to and fro, or have its cycle changes in more or less disastrous fashion, until a sufficient portion of mankind has learned the great lesson of uniting and speaking the one tongue, the soul language. It is those who call upon the divine law in this language who will be brought out of their distress. The great lesson then for humanity to learn is that while the language of physical man may be ever so diverse, the language of the spiritual man, the soul language, is one and must ultimately become the language of all in guiding their relations with one another. Let us then begin to learn this lesson at once. During the coming days, let us concentrate upon realizing, making real, that we are both body and soul, and that each of them can speak, yet each awakens quite different vibrations and causes different reactions. Think of the soul not as some part of us that we must save, nor yet as a great being who watches our every act and thought in a critical attitude and marks down each mistake in a book to be corrected. through bitter struggle and much suffering by the personality. Think of the soul as an individualized divine ray of God and one with Him, which has come down to earth and voluntarily clothed itself in various vestures until it manifests in the physical body, that it may inform, inspire, guide, and help men of flesh until he can understand this mystery of the divine manifesting through the human. Thus will we learn that what we truly are and how to look within for the God powers given us, which to accomplish the manifestation of our true self in the flesh. Until this is learned, mankind must ever be in turmoil. Once we understand this mystery, whenever we are confronted with the task, which is to our outer consciousness seems impossible, we will call upon the spiritual consciousness, the higher or mighty I am presence, for illumination and help, realizing that the soul has the power to guide us even in the physical and seemingly little things of life. As we practice this realization of the presence of the divine within, we will soon be surprised to find that by calling upon the inner self, we can accomplish anything the great law brings to us as a duty or as a next step in the evolutionary process. Pause. When I said earlier, I screamed at my higher self, I absolutely did. I live more up there than I do down here. That's just a fact. Facts. I explained on Turn the Page with Janine. She's on YouTube and on Rumble. Go support her as well. Many of us are our first wave. We're the volunteers, the way showers who came down having these horrendous experiences. And we're the first ones going through the nonsense. Today, that was nonsense. It's a test to see if we can make it through. Although I'm in a calmer state now, doesn't take away the fact that I have called up upon God to help me financially, because I don't have a bad thing with money. I crumbled up my contract of the vow of poverty. I am balancing out the humanness and the spiritualness. But many of us are going through this wave. I'm probably also coming into my Saturn return. So like literally, what I will say, whether they're here or not, I mean, spirit's always here. But in my screaming, in my folding down and letting it out, the old self, before my higher self merged already in this body, the lower 6.5 density self, higher self came here already in 2017. Old self would have transitioned already. I wouldn't be doing a video right now because I'm done. Change is uncomfortable, but when your guidance is not giving you what change needs to be, but your whole world is collapsing around you and you're not getting sparks of inspiration, you're not getting little situational symbols to where to move next or how to go next, and stuff is not aligning. You know, everybody's giving me, oh, why don't you do this and go apply for that and do this, and I apply and I'm not getting anywhere. So what is meant for me? It's defeating. And yes, like every door that is not open, it's God's way of saying, I'm protecting you. Great, but where is the open door? I need to find it now. JG Wentworth. I need money and I need it now, and not because I'm materialistically hunkered here. But when you exhaust every option and you're not getting anywhere, you're stuck and you I called for help today. I'm calling for help. Please, somebody help me. I don't know what to do. I don't know where to go. And I'm not here to get a quick rich scheme. I'm not here to go doing online nonsense that costs money anyway behind the scenes. Everybody makes everything seem so easy. And if it was so easy, everybody would do it. I have a divine mission, and so does so many of you. And I'm just, I'm tired. My soul is tired. This body is tired. It's not like I'm in my 20s that I could work at fast food and be on my feet for 12 hours. I have a job. It's just seasonal, as the per bank saying. I work with children. And I have a lot of, it's limitations I wish I didn't have, but it is reality. I'm not that well, I'm not that bad off, but I'm not that well off. It is what it is. That's why I do this channel. I want to bring everybody on my journey with me because I hope one day I get the light that shines on me and it stays that way. The lighthouse doesn't move. It stays in my purview and I can follow it and get to safe shore and not have to return back. But I've been saying everything that this chapter is speaking on. When will people get it through your ears? Maybe your soul, your subconscious is listening, but maybe your personality is stuck. We have to see beyond good and evil. The unity, yes, is within. The understanding of soul language is that you don't need mouths to talk anymore once you're in your spiritual mind and you have telepathy. But you got to clean up and purge everything that no longer serves you because that is skeletons in your closet. I'm sure you don't want other people finding out. And when you have telepathy, you're an opened satellite dish. You think AI is bad with getting your information? Oh, wait until telepathy happens. You got to keep your shit clear and free of judgment and negativity. You all want the powers, but you don't have the power to control yourselves now. Many of you. And I love you all. I'm not perfect, and trust me, this is why I do what I do. It's a process. I want everybody to go through the process with me because it's going to help you at some point, at some juncture, something I say is going to help you, if not inform you or expand your mind. I already own what I am to many high extents, not from an ego place, but knowing my divine mission. One of many. Many of you have a lot of missions. Many of you are the first wave with me. And life is not easy right now. And we somehow all need to come together to transmute this energy. It's not up to me, it's up to all of us. Together. That's unity in the physical. I did that on my channel. I do it during my lives. Like I literally stopped and asked everybody, what do you want for humanity? We're in the blackout. What do you want to manifest right now for humanity? Not just yourself. When you say, I want abundance and prosperity and peace, you want it for yourself. You have to feel it for yourself first before you're going to indulge on that in humanity and dole it out. You have to feel it for yourself. If that's what you want, and that's what I want for myself. You have to feel it. I've been going outside and dressing pretty and taking photos of myself and feeling worthy, feeling pretty, feeling like I have more to offer the world. It might seem egotistical, but that feeling of me going out and looking pretty is helping my frequency help humanity. Because I'm putting it in my field. And like a lot of us are getting attacked, and whatever this was probably a thought form going, oh, you know what? She's so close. Let's test her. It could be God himself testing me. How is she going to react? Well, I'm going to react in the humanness first, and then I'm going to calm myself down and bring it back into reality. I got to fix a situation and got to get fixed. I just don't have the money to do it. I don't like the physical monetary system here. And I don't think a lot of people like it either. Certain parts of the country, gas is under $3, and here it's $3.50. Why? Say the economy's getting better. I don't see it. And I am not a person that one side over the other. I see both sides and how the game is being played on a 5D scale. I get it. You have to play your moves, but you know what? We, the people, are being affected, period, end of story. And we've been affected for the last who knows how many years now. And many of us are tired and done. And I'm not buying into the stories or to holding hope. I have faith. I have faith in source that hopefully this time around my life changes and for the better. I'm done with these tests. I'm done looping. I am working on my subconscious. And I know many of you are taking those steps. But until more people get out of the hate, shame, and blame of others, those are your other selves, by the way. So you hate yourself, you want yourself hung. It's great. And yes, I get it. They do evil things. They are horrible people in this world. They really are. They're really heinous, horrible people. But they're still of God. And once you could see that and acknowledge it, yeah, you can put them over there. They're if you're giving them attention, they're renting room in your mind. They're in your field. You're feeding them your loosh. I decided a long time ago, no more. I'm not feeding them my energy because they're not manifesting off of me. I don't want that guilt. And I hope that more people mature in that understanding. I know we want to know the truth. I know we want things exposed. But if you already know the truth, it's there. If those people that don't have the eyes to see don't see it, what difference does it make? We're here to bring heaven to earth. We're here to collect and collide the timelines. So at what point are we going to hold ourselves accountable and bring heaven to earth instead of worrying about the movie over here that is playing out very nicely? It's up to you. But I know where I'm at. I'm here to unify in soul language and bring heaven to earth because we deserve it. At least many of us who are in the suffering and can't seem to get out of it. And as much as I don't like to label that, if you had to go clean up what I had to clean up today and see what you had to see today, you would feel the same way I would. Many earnest seekers have been taught that they must find this help and guidance through the powers of their own mentality. But after many heartbreaking disappointments, they find that while the mind has marvelous powers, it is often confronted with problems they cannot solve of itself. Then it must appeal to the spiritual guidance of the I am consciousness and make itself but a humble instrument so that the soul can use all the faculties of the mind and all the function and powers of the body to manifest its will and accomplish its desired ends. Yes and no. I will argue this. There are some things that your humanness needs to go through that spirit will be quiet on. My competition and my whole spiritual humanness is having, that's happening to me right now. As much as I can channel and put information out there, that's my mission. When it comes to personal stuff, tight-lipped, because I have to figure it out on my own. So yes, but I can argue that point on certain things. Since all souls are individualized rays of the one spiritual sun, raying out in all directions and gathering all the experiences and forces of the planet, all souls meet in oneness at the center where divinity is found. When our mind grasps this picture, we can understand how God and his Christ can be everywhere and manifest unto all beings at the same time. Why many people can channel Yeshua and Saint Germain and Archangel Michael and all the alien beings. Just as the physical sun gives its light and heat and all its power to everything it shines upon, and without being diminished itself, so can the spiritual sun shed all its powers upon and illume every heart, all at the same time, with the true light which lighteth every man that cometh into the world. True religion is but the organized expression of the tuition or soul language, which each soul receives from the divine. Yet, alas, because of the tendency of the unenlightened mortals to consider the physical body supreme, since it correlates with physical conditions, can be seen, the tuition from within, intuition, becomes materialized or disregarded entirely. Each religion expresses this intuition in different terms, for each has different conceptions of the divine realities. Yet the outer expression is not the true religion, but its inner meaning is. All awakened souls feel the inner tuition and recognize that it comes from some mysterious source. Yet words are so inadequate that among all peoples, religion has to be expressed in parable, allegory, myth, or marvelous tale. And each thinks its own expression the only true interpretation of the realities, hence condemns all others who are different, use different expressions, ceremonies, and symbols and allegories. Thus, true religion has grown more and more sectarian and more mental, and the soul language has been more and more ignored. Even those who have heard the inner voice and would fain teach mankind in the simplicity of the soul language find that they must use the familiar expressions. Yes, for the soul must speak to the mind through its familiar channels to illumine and enable it to grasp and understand the true inner meaning or soul language. Therefore, there must be those who are true priests and teachers, God's messengers to man, who are capable of understanding the soul language and of translating it into the language of the daily life. For a deeply learned priesthood, compelled to express religion in a way foreordained by man with a definite vocabulary and recondite expressions, has tended to create a great gulf between the affairs of everyday life and the great inner urge, which each soul is ever sending forth for its expression. And because the inner soul language often disagrees with the outer orthodox interpretation set up by man, many try to silence or turn away from the inner voice and refuse to listen to the soul language. Is it any wonder, then, that we find the world today facing the cyclic changes now taking place with no united common spiritual unity? No understanding of how to unite its soul powers to adjust itself to outer conditions. If humanity will not remove the causes of inhumanity and inharmony, then the great law must sweep away the disturbing factors, humanity can enter upon a new and better day. To counteract in harmony, an evil man must gain wisdom and brotherly love, must learn to listen to and use the soul language. And if he finds it not in religion, because, like the builders of the Tower of Babel, he has listened to and followed the many outer voices and silenced it voice within, then the tower of his mighty civilization must remain incomplete or perhaps fall, and its builders be scattered. The call of the Christ, however, and forever is, suffer the little children to come unto me, and forbid them not. For of such is the kingdom of God. By little children was not meant those young in years, but those young in spirit, teachable, ready to listen, and to obey the voice of the Christ within. Some souls may be so oppressed by worldly conditions or business affairs that they have little time for study, and having been taught that only the learned can interpret religion or soul language, they feel that they must accept what is given them by the authorities, even though the inner voice is always asking questions which their authorities cannot answer. It is all such who, like little children, are bidden to come unto me, and they are glad to follow the Christ when the truth is given them in the soul language, which they can understand. The little child is a type of simple trust in the Father, trust in the knowledge that the inner man is made in the image of God. And even though the manifestation of that image be today, but as a little child, yet if brought forth in the midst of the teachers and elders, the mental faculties and orthodox outer conceptions, it will confound them with its wisdom and the simplicity of the soul language. The little child also symbolizes the newborn, yet rapidly growing realization that in the midst of all the confusion of the outer world, there is this image of God, and all who listen to its soul language shall not perish, but have everlasting life. Be not disturbed, therefore, though the earth shakes, though empires crumble and civilization fails. The Lord Christ has sent forth his call, that he may gather all his children who will into the nest of his love, and there shelter them under the wings of his protective care. No cataclysm is too great if it destroys the tower of man's pride and self-sufficiency and opens his ears to the soul language of the Christ and brings him to the recognition of humanity. Already the angel's song is thrilling through the world today. Behold, he is risen. O King of kings, above all earthly powers, help us, thy children, in these our darkest hours. The radiant light, thy mighty love, now showers down. Rich be the hearts this love shall bless and crown, no longer in a manger laid. Now in transcendent glory, he the debt of sin hath paid. Down from high heaven the gladsome chorus rings. To waiting hearts its joyous promise brings. Hark, hark, beloved, hear the heavenly songs. To him the blithesome joy of this new age belongs. Glad at his feet, behold all offerings laid, offerings of love, of service, of sin's redemption paid. And that's by Harriette Augusta Curtis. That was beautiful. That was a mighty powerful chapter. It validates a lot of the things I've had said in the last couple of years, and that I speak out. There are many of us who are chosen for this mission of getting people awake. And not awake in the sense of political the wrongs that have been happening on this planet. It's the understanding of what you actually are. And so many people have denied, whether it's because of their religion, their ego, or their humbleness, to accept what they are and what all of this is. Christ consciousness has nothing to do with religion. It states a frequency, divine orchestrated frequency. When you are able to tap into that consciousness, the expanded truths, seeing beyond it all, understanding what unity actually entails, walking your empowerment, not in an egotistical way, in a divine orchestrated way. A lot of us are being tested right now. We are in duality and we have to conquer it. We have to master both the humanness and the divinity that is within. And sometimes the divinity needs your humanness to step the F up, and that's what my humanness is trying to do. Although my symbols are harsh and you got to stop. But I hope that all of you, this rung somewhere in your heart space, that it spoke to you in some form or fashion. I needed to read this tonight. I didn't want to do a video tonight after the day that I had, after literally screaming my face off and having to have hours of cleaning up water and gunk from the, not poo, thank gosh, but, and then finding spiders everywhere and termites on top of them, finding mold and going, oh, I'm allergic to bleach. What do I do with this? You know, I'm being tested heavily. My limit is reached. And that's what Source does to an extent. You're being tested. As much as I want to act small and just cave to just getting any kind of job or having to just pick up because someone's like, well, you don't belong in Indiana. Well, I don't belong anywhere. I belong upstairs. I came here to mission. I got a mission. I was moved from Georgia to New York to Indiana. Here I am. Wherever I go, if I have to get out of this house and move again, I don't know. I don't control so much of that stuff as spirit does. But we're all having a mission and we're all where we're supposed to be, whether we like it or not. I don't like it. I'm not comfortable right now. I'm at my breaking point. And I don't know how many times I have to scream for help because the Aries, arrogant, stubborn person that I can be at times has never called for help because I usually have to do it anyway by myself because help never comes. Physical help. But I'm going to scream it anyway because maybe somebody will watch me and have an idea for me that will actually not be a scheme or a marketing scheme or a pyramid scheme or something that they're going to aggrandize off of me and not co-unitely work together and be successful. I can only put it out there, and if I speak it into existence, let's hope that I can put the energy out there to manifest it. We're not supposed to be working by ourselves. for much longer. We're supposed to unify as a collective to work and help each other out. We all serve a purpose for each other. It's a matter of, is it spiritual, physical, mental, bodily, and bodily meaning health and nutrition. And there are so many facets in this world that we all fill a space and a puzzle piece to. It's just a matter of who gets the call and who is there to aid you when you're in the time of need. And who's going to work for your betterment and not for your detriment because they want to aggrandize off of you and get greed. Because that happens a lot, and I'm seeing it happen with a bunch of people that I love dearly. But others are just more, collecting money and using others. I'm not about that. I want to work for my keep. I love working. And I know many of you do as well. And each of us hold a piece to the puzzle. And we're all going to still be needed in this world when things are going down into the shitter. We are taking the cataclysmic way to change because the other way might manifest, we'll see. But enough more people need to come on this bandwagon. It's not about religion. It's not about color or race. We're all divine children of Source. Once you see that within yourself, once you can empower yourself, once you can uplift others, no matter what color, race, creed, and we're seeing that in humanity here and there, things are still very manipulated. But looking beyond the duality of things and understanding the contracts and understanding how reality works is going to help more people understand how to go within and do the work. It's not easy work. It's traumatizing. It's not easy looking yourself at the mirror and holding yourself accountable. I could tell you that. I've been there, done that. You have to stop blaming everybody else outside of you for your problems. I have learned a lot of lessons in the last 3 years, mind you. Good lessons. Ones I know I needed. What's going on now? I don't know where the lesson lies. I just know I got to get out of this subconscious block. I know that I continuously am doing the inner work while I have the time not working, looking for work, giving it a break because my nervous system is on overload. Like my fingers are still shaky. Like because I'm all out of sorts. Because I don't know what to do. And unfortunately, it's 3D shit that needs to get done that I can't heal it away. Can't go poof, magic. Oh, the roots are gone. No, they're stuck in the pipe. Can't go, oop, poof, no termites. And I can't even imagine in the wall what the damage is done. It is what it is. But every day I'm going to alchemize. I had to get that screaming. I guess it had to come down to that. Had to collapse. For things to maybe energetically take a shift, I needed a shock to my system to shift something within my energy field. I don't know. I know synchronistically, though, Brian Scott did put out a video about screaming today. And I'm like, holy shit. It doesn't apply to my circumstances, but like good screaming does help. I scream at myself all the time up there. And I'm sure my upstairs team is like, ah, there she goes again. But then I go, well, show me stuff that I could see, because whatever you're doing, I don't see it. Your symbols, your talking chatter, I don't hear it. So show me what needs to happen, give me direction, point me out somewhere. And I've been getting videos, so I've been chilling out, kind of taking a step back and seeing the bigger picture. You know, when you're in the thick of crisis, sometimes it is nice to take a step back. Like if I'm doing a really big painting, I got to take a step back and take a break to see the bigger picture. And I'm trying to do that objectively with not, not judging myself. I have compassion for myself. Um, and I hope me sharing my experiences and sharing my journey with all of you at least helps one person on their journey. I'm not here to bitch and complain. It is very highly obnoxious and annoying. I know that for my own self. But I do it because I purely do need help physically. I would love a job, and physical, the better, or making artwork and selling it, or being a part of a gallery. Just, you know, there's a lot of things I would like to do. It's just there's a lot of formalities and money I don't have. I made a website. That's expensive. You know, money does not grow on trees. And, as talented as I can be, I barely sell my artwork. Um, we all just have to come to a realization that it is within. And sometimes they do test you and they don't come down. Or they're helping you, but they're helping you in ways of like protecting you. But you still have to go through the shit. You still have to process it. You still have to transmute it. They're not going to do that for you. You got to do that work by yourself. And I know that I'm being, whatever this buffering period is where I keep getting rejected from being hired in places, that it's just giving me time to process what's going on and maybe get some clarity, hopefully within the next few weeks, to change my life, because it needs a change and it needs to happen now. Not in 5 years, not in 6 months. It needs to happen now. Or else I'm going to lose anything anyway, and it's not going to matter. It's really not going to matter. Because once I get a lien on the house, and once they foreclose my house, and once they say, sorry, like you can't pay your property tax, we own your house now, bye, I lose it all. When I can't pay the electric bill, lights go out, I can't go live. I can't go on YouTube. I'm trying to build this up because I love what I do. But it's a process of growth. I'm slowly growing. And I rather it that way than any other way. And I'm just really appreciative, and I have a lot of gratitude for everybody who gives me the ears to hear and the eyes to see. Thank you. Just know that you have what I am in you, and you got to believe it. You have to absorb it. You have to embody it. You have to walk it and walk in the righteousness of what you are. This is just a vehicle. Sending each and every one of you love, light, compassion, grace, shielding, and protective energy. Please go within. Be the shoulders. Be the lighthouses. Seed your truths. Light that path forward. Stop looking back. And just thank you, and I appreciate all of you from the bottom of this ticking green ray obscenity of hell. My heart space. It's cold, bitch. Not. But down in here, I thank all of you. Till the next time, guys. Bye for now.